All right, so let's go over the trades. I was talking to someone today and was explaining them our strategy. And can we just appreciate the fact that when you start with 50 bucks, then after 120 days of hitting a 10% target, you're at full $4 million. That's pretty cool, I think. That's literally like, you literally got $4 million for free, like with zero investment, essentially, right? I mean, the thing is, yeah, I mean, you put in some work, obviously, which is good, but yeah, that's a pretty big step here. Percentage-wise, it's like not even a number, you know, not a feasible number, but that's what, you know, just getting 10% a day is an insane compounding effect. Like if you, like anyone targets 10% a day and trades the strategy, you know, in a safe way, meaning that, you know, over hundreds of days, you will average out 10% a day. How do you do that? You only take safe trades. If anyone does this here for 1 year, you will be well off. Even if you miss a couple days, you'll be fine. You know, so yeah. And as you can see, the growth really starts towards the end because obviously it's exponential. Maybe I can put this on like a log. I don't want to vertical axis. Can I do a log? I don't know. I'm not gonna mess around with it too much. There we go, log scale. Okay, so here you see that it's actually very straightforward. All right, 1 sec. Let me get the dog out. Hey, Karina. Hey, everyone. How's it going? We'll just get started right away. I was just appreciating the fact that 50 bucks will be $4 million if you hit 10% every single day for 120 days. All right, let's go over the trades. Dashboard wise, I saw Solana going into a nice long, I believe. So let me just take a look at that real quick with you guys because I'm interested. And yeah, other than that, we'll go over. Sure, actually. Let me send you the sheet right now. What you guys can do is make a copy and then you can play around with these numbers here. These 3 numbers is all you need to play around with. I'm gonna make it nice and green for us, for you guys. This is what you gotta play around with here. Only green, of course. All right. Let me take a look at Solana real quick. Because it's in a trade right now. I know that based on the bundle, because right now the most profits we've been making on bundle 4, which has been going pretty well. Right. Okay, so just about entered the, you know, the moves are usually pretty large, and you know, on average the trades take, let's see here, 5 days, 5 to 6 days. So obviously these are longer term trades, right? You know, when it enters now, then we expect it, you know, by like Wednesday to have some results or something like that. I'll go to bundle 4 real quick, take a look at it. Have it load, but really I just want to see what's going on here. Got 3 trades going on here, doing fine. Let's see what Solana is doing here. There we go. Yeah, all right, cool. So let's take a look at Bitcoin right now. on all different time frames. And what we'll be looking, what I will probably do by tomorrow, we'll have some sort of version on that already, will be a TradingView indicator where we will look at the alignments of the lower time frames, and they will mark like an area, which will be easier for us to look at, you know, when we just go through trades. So actually no, let me do link first, because that's what you're setting up right now, Hubert. Let's take a look. All right, Chainlink short. It's nice, 15 minute. I assume the 30 minute is about, yeah, it's topping out right now. 1 hour's topping out. 2, 3 and 4 are still in the move. 4 is indecisive. Your 1, 2, 90 minute, 30 minute are all good. So, you know, trauma, bottom of the range, feasible. 15 minutes going down a little bit, so you might have, well, let me look at the 5 minute first. Okay, so here was just a movement down, so you might have to fight for a little bit for the, yeah, so 1, 3 and 5 are down, so you might have, you know, some movement upwards, especially because the 15 minute has been going down here. So I would like to see that, you know, topped out ideally, because 1, 3, 5 and 15 going up together have enough strength to move the 30 minute, 90 minute and 1. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick to see if that makes sense what we're talking about. Okay, so let's look at the 30 minute first. Okay, so we're actually looking pretty good here. Same with the 15 minute. Assuming that the 91 and 2 are up too. Okay, so this looks good short wise. I still don't love the 15 minute. 5, 3 and 1 are also down. So probably what would be the best move would be 1, 3, 5, 15, have those top out, and then just go together with the 30 minute, right? 30 minute is down quite a bit. Let's take a look if there was a good one here. Go to the 15 minute. Okay, so here the 15 minute was still topped out, and the 30 minute was still topped out. 90 minute was topping out and going down, and 1 hour was topping out. 2 hours topping out. What I'm doing here, by the way, this is important, little technical. Our 1, 3 and 5, they're, you know, timing indicators, right? But on the 15 minute, for example, you can see it topped out here, right? Before I start anything else, you guys can see my screen, right? I don't want to redo the entire thing again. Cool, okay. I was just making sure. So the 15 minute topped out here, right? And what then happened was the price was going further up, and the 15 minute has nowhere else to go, so it's just going to bounce around the top, right? If this happens, so if the 15 minute tops out, you know, and we could probably see, let me mark this point, and this is what I mean, like we're you know, jumping around here on different time frames on trading here. It would be much easier if we just had this on one sheet, right? Or like on one chart, all of the time frames aligned, which is something that we're working on, right? So the 30 minute was topping out, 1 hour was you know, quite well in the move, 2 hour was quite well in the move. So you had still some, you know, strength to the upside, which brought the 15 minute to just top out all the time, right? What this means is that at this point, the stochastic, you know, is not going to work till it goes back down again, right? And trying to catch the move back down on the 15 minute, you know, would not be as fun, right? You can't do that, is what I'm saying. So if, you know, whenever you have a time frame where the price is moving up, but your stochastic is topped out already and has nowhere else to go, right now, you don't, like, you know, it broke, and you don't know, you cannot really get any data from this until it starts going back down. So what that means is that you need to go to a higher time frame, because here the move is too big for this time frame, and you know there's not enough, the time frame doesn't have enough capabilities to represent it anymore. So when that happens, you got to go to a higher time frame. Now the 30-minute was still moving up here, but same thing happened here, right? We're flat. So we go higher, we go to the 90-minute. Now the 90-minute had a really, really nice move here, right? 1 hour was flat a little bit too, and then our 2 hour was on point, and our 3 hour is still, you know, moving and, you know, turning down. So that's why I'm looking more at the 2 hour now, because the 15-minute was so flat out, right? So what happened now is, you know, it finally broke down, and at that point here, right, so when the 15 minutes started going down, I'm just going to move this line to here. As the 15 minutes started going down, you know, to a lower level, we can look at a 30-minute and see, okay, that one's going down too, to a lower level than it was before. So now we can say, okay, now the stochastic's breaking down. The 90-minute has topped out, is going down. The 1 hour has topped out and is going down, right, further down. The 2 hour has topped out, right? So now we can time that, you know, we're going down now, we're confirmed going down, and we have a lower chance of the price pressing up against us. This is something that I've been talking about with Hubert as well, quite a bit on the call, because what are stochastics, right? They give you the average, and then they say, you know, how far the price is from the average. And our bet, right, the core market principle is that the price is going to return back to the average, right? And this works like 90% of the time. The times when it doesn't work is when there's a huge move. When there is a big major move, you know, on like the daily, for example, going from one pocket to the other pocket, right? A bigger move up. At that, you know, when this happens, then on the lower time frames, you're just going to have the stochastic topped out, right? And it's something that, you know, we had to figure out ourselves through trial and error, is that, you know, if you do a bot with the stochastics and, you know, you have a huge bullish move, all it's going to do is short, right? Obviously, there's like a bunch of ways you can prevent that. You can filter it out with different indicators, but you know, that's something to keep in mind when you're manually trading it. What helps as well is, you know, a helpful tool, not necessary, but a helpful tool is the squeeze momentum indicator here. Because what it's going to do is it's going to tell us, based on the color change, that the momentum is turning further down, right? So if we go on a 30-minute here, then we see that we have been topping out, and then, you know, at this point, the stochastic's lower than it was before, and the squeeze momentum has turned, has changed directions, right? So, you know, that's a good indication as well. So that is important, and you know, that's like on a week-to-week basis. Hubert said at the call today earlier that you know, it was so much easier to look at trades or like to find setups last week than this week, and that's just the nature of, you know, a more trending market, right? You know, when you look at that's the good part about Forex, is that you always have different sectors that you know, behave and act differently. So, you know, when we were looking at, I think it was Australian dollar, right? So, you know, alignments here, you know, beautiful up down, up down, up down. Like you can trade the entire thing here, right? Same thing here, up down, up down, up down. So, you know, very nice. I did put the resolution too high. Thank you. Casper was first. He's getting the Happy Meal. You'll get like half a Happy Meal. So, yeah. But thank you for reminding me. I'd rather get reminded like 10 times instead of forgetting it, because I hate when the quality is like 720p and it was a good call. So you know, Forex, you know, is just going up and down, And you will always find setups like that because the markets, or like the pairs, are less correlated than on crypto. In crypto, you mostly just have Bitcoin, and then everything else just follows, plus minus in the short term what Bitcoin's doing. So there's different sizes of the moves, but in general, like when Bitcoin's falling down or pumping up, it doesn't really make sense to do anything opposite. One other thing, actually, what I just thought about, I don't know why I didn't think about it earlier, is that our favorite coin to be trading, actually, also in the dashboards, is Ethereum, because it was working so well with the stochastics. So that's something that we should be looking at as well. I have not seen anyone posting ETH trades. Link looks beautiful here, though. Like just looking at this, the only thing that I don't love is the 15-minute, because I'm not sure what it's gonna do once it bottoms out. Our 30 and 1 hour are there, but there's quite the strength here. So those are like trade-offs where we would rather have easy trades. Like the 30 minutes dumping here, and the price movement isn't as big. We have moved almost towards the bottom of, like, compare this. So compare this move from here to here, right? We had, quite the dump, and from the top here to here, we've been, we're actually higher than this level. So that's something to be careful about. Looking at a 30 and 1 hour aligned with the 2 and 90 minute aligned, does make sense, especially bouncing off the trauma. But if the 15 minute turns, or bottoms out, starts going up, and the price starts following, it's bad news for shorts. So that's something to look at. What was okay, let me take a look at gold, and then let me take a look at Xavier's trade. Okay, gold again had a nice short here. Let me take a look. So 15 bottom, 30 bottomed, 1 hour is bottoming, 2, 3 are in the move, I would assume. 5 minute. Okay, so and 1 minute is going up. So what should happen would be the 1 minute top out and go down. As the 1 minute goes down, it could align pretty well with the 3 minute, finishing its move, with the 5 minute finishing its move, with the 15 minute, starting to move up, and the 30 minute starting to move up, which would be a nice long to the top of the range here. Let's see. Belongs to the top of the range here, and I would still be careful because there's possible downside with the 3 and 5. Once the 3 and 5 turn upwards, though, which would probably be decided by the 1 minute going up and down, especially now as the 1 minute is in a good flow. Yeah. I like that setup. I like that long. I would love for this alignment to happen here. Let's look at Xavier's trade real quick, which is a bear flag, right? So on the 5 minute. So you're assuming, are you short or long, by the way? Just making it clear so I don't do the opposite side. Oh, he's not here. We just went over Bitcoin. So same thing here, really, on Bitcoin. ADA usually has good alignments on the 1 hour and 30 minutes. So in this scenario, whenever the 1 hour is topping or bottoming out, that's a good trade. Same with the 30 minutes, tops and bottoms. Might be smaller moves, but still good trades overall. So that's good. That's good to see. Do you guys have any other setups just to take a look at? I do like gold for sure. especially bottom of the range with our 1530 1 hour bottomed out. Looks great to me. 5 and 3 should, especially the 5 should bottom out and kind of help us out here in this long. What happened here, we were bottomed out that the price was going down. Our 15 minute was following though, so the price was following the 15 minute and the 30 minute, so those are still valid. So yeah, I like the long. If I would enter here, if I had to enter here, I would still look for the alignments here, because you know the move can still take a couple hours even. That's why I would love for the one minute, give me the alignments to really enter the trade. If you are scared to miss the trade, what you can do is enter slightly and then have more levels as you get closer to your stop loss, have more add-ons, and if those hit, then your average entry will go down. And what then happens when the average entry goes down is that you'll have a much better trade. So that's very important. So let's take a quick look at. I just want to see Bitcoin one more time here, and I want to see Chiliz for some reason. I have no idea why I want to see Chiliz, but maybe that will. I just like to look at it sometimes. Okay, so yeah. 30 and 15, our 15 minutes bottoming out here. Oof. To me it looks like the short already happened, especially with the 30 minute being this low. The 15 minute, getting some juice most likely. What are the 5 minute? Okay, so the 5 minutes going up, the 3 minutes going up, the 1 minute stopped. Okay, so there's some possibilities here. And then our higher time frames are very bearish. So what could happen as well is the 30 minute will need one more move here before we go further down. That's possible, and move like this to the top of this range and then drop down to the trauma level. That would be a possibility. So here's something that is important to look at. Like in these situations, the market is a little bit choppy. And in those situations, it's also good to look at, other things like gold or Forex, just to see that, there's still beautiful setups here, right? And looking at the alignments here is still very important. Here are 15 minute, 30. What's the 1 hour doing? 1 hour is kind of middle-ish, but it's still important to look at these setups, because we want to remind ourselves how a good setup looks like, especially when it's a choppy situation like we have in crypto right now. The reason with that is what we want to achieve, right? So what do we want to do? Like what we want to do is this, essentially. Like that's what it comes down to. This is what we want to do, right? We want to have some initial investment, and we want to, make a lot of money. So how do we do that? A 10% daily target is not that much. However, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get there consistently. How do we do that? We do that by making sure that we only trade high probability trades. When we have alignments, clear alignments across multiple time frames, and sometimes it's important to look at the small details, look at the alignment between the 1, 3, and 5, because if you look at good trades, this is looking good by the way, if you look at good trades also in history, and you put your line here like I do, put a vertical line here, and then compare that vertical line on different time frames, they usually align, right? So our 1 minute was topped out, 3 minute was topped out, 5 minute was middle-ish, 15 minute was topped out, 30 minute was middle-ish. So that's important. right? On the biggest moves, there was the biggest alignment, right? So we want to look at different alignments. 15-minute topped, 5-minute topped, 3-minute topped, where am I? 1-minute topped. So that's having those, like waiting for the alignments, saves you probably, in the span of 1,000 trades, right? So let's say you trade every day you have 3 trades, right? Over 1 month you have 100 trades. Over 10 months you have 1,000 trades, right? So let's just assume you commit to trading for 10 months. Number one, what's going to happen is, as long as you're consistent, you're going to do pretty well. Number two, what's going to happen is you're going to have 1,000 trades. You're going to trade 1,000 trades. When you trade 1,000 trades, right? And the difference between trading only sure trades and, throwing in a couple unsure trades as well is probably at the end result like a 50% difference in your account, maybe 80% difference in your account. That's the difference between, now we're theoretical, but that's the difference between 4 million and 30,000 as an end result here. Because volatility here, our volatility is 0 actually, because we're increasing the same amount, or we're compounding at least the same amount, whereas if we trade trades that are not high probability, we introduce a lot of other variables. And really that's something that we covered on a call yesterday. Like one high probability trade, which means you have a good entry, you have a great risk to reward, you have a low stop loss, so you can use higher leverage, which will compound the extra move that you get too with the good entry. A trade, and you have a risk reward to 1 to 6. You risk 10% and you get 60% of the full move if you take the full move. Like those trades are the backbone of being able to be consistent, because those have a really, really high hit rate and are the most profitable ones too, right? Having to, I would rather take 2 of those trades in a week than 5 trades a day where, 4 of them or 3 of them are coin flips, or, trades where I can lose, a significant amount in my account. So those are very, very important things to look at. So we want to make sure that we're consistent, because our goal is to, achieve large amounts of money. How do we do that? We're consistent. We're focusing on this thing. This is the holy grail right here, right? 10% a day. So, and how do we do that? Well, there's a pretty important distinction, which is that, and that's what retail traders do, is, they trade from the comfort of their home. They're on their laptop at home, or, on their phone. And, it is entertaining, and, it's a big reason of why they do it. Like, yeah, they want to make money, but it's entertainment too, right? And that's how the chart looks like too, It's made so, you can look at it and you can feel euphoria and entertainment. And that is the main problem why many, 99% of people lose money. Because I'm referencing the call a lot, I know, but I gave Hubert an example. For example, Formula One drivers, right? So Formula One drivers sit down in a car that drives 400 kilometers an hour, and at insane speeds, and they need to act insanely quick, and they do that without a break for 2 hours. And as they do it, they know that if they just let out and don't focus for half a second or a fraction of a second, they can die. They can literally die. So what they do is they're fully focused without a single second of not focus for 2 hours straight. Because the other side, the risk is their life. So obviously they sit down and they take it very, very seriously, and they don't lack focus for any split of a second in those 2 hours. Not a chance. And that's their job, right? When we trade, we are risking our money that we went out. Mostly we went out and worked for it for a day, 2 days, a week, a month, a year, right? We went out and sold our time and did work in order to get the hard-earned cash, and now we're sitting here and are risking it, and we don't even value the money enough to be serious about it. I'm not saying you guys are, I'm saying most retail traders are. So what happens is, they just blow their accounts. Because the pain of losing is relieved a lot in the market, psychologically, on purpose. So and it's done so you lose, so it's easy for you to lose money, so people can make money. So making money consistently is designed in the market to be actually boring and counterintuitive, whereas losing money consistently is more exciting. You will have more fun losing money consistently, I promise you, in a market. Because sitting down, looking at this as an actual job, especially when when the reason you do it is not to have a job, right? But guess what? You need the amount of focus as you do everywhere else, right? And sometimes it's going to suck. So, instead of sitting down and looking at this as a job, because, you want to make a living out of this. So how can you expect to make a living out of it if you don't regard it as a job in the first place? If this should make more money than your job, then you should actually have more, focus and value it more and be more serious about it than your job, right? So that's very, very important, is that, there is a certain level of professionalism that's absolutely needed in order to get to these numbers, right? So with $1,000 to get to these numbers, right? It's very, very important, because that is the thing, actually, because the math here is simple, right? 10% a day. There's nothing extra. The strategy is simple. It's no rocket science, right? We're literally looking at lines and see if they're all at the same level. That's it, right? I get that there's nuances with it, but that's what we're looking at. So it's simple, right? Especially looking at assuming that you traded for a month or two, you learned how to drive a bike, drive a car. You'll learn how to look at 5 lines. There's the secret sauce is not there, right? It's simple. What else is simple is the math here. We want to get 10% and we will get to these numbers. So everyone can do the math. Everyone can look at a couple lines. So where's the problem? Where's the catch where not everybody does that? Well, doing this every single day, every number here, every row here means 1 day, right? So every single day here, it's a fight against yourself in order to do the obvious thing every single day. Because you're here, and I actually like the people that Cypher, for example. I do like when they have their trading view chart black and white, right? It's actually, I like that a lot. I'm probably going to do that now that I think about it. Because looking, and honestly, what I will do as well, there's a bunch of projects queued up, but I will make, because I have had my issues with TradingView for multiple reasons. Also the fact that they literally lied to you in backtesting, which made us have to rent out a bunch of servers to do our own pre-processing. But the point is that I'll probably make a new dashboard just for us that's stripped out of any, moving numbers, flicking colors, stuff like that, that, gives you bad triggers and tries to, change your emotions in a way where you shouldn't. Or shouldn't be giving into them. So it's probably something that would be important to do. Having just a chart with a bunch of stochastics and our pre-processed data, none of the colors, none of the flickering around, none of that, right? We want to make sure that we come here, and when we trade, so when the trading session starts and we come here and we're ready to trade, we're professional, right? We can do a lot of, I love the community. I love how we're getting closer together. I love how we can talk about different things too. That's amazing, and I want to push that. I want to support that. I think I speak for everyone here that the closer the community gets, the better it is. But this is also a very important part. Is we can have fun, but when we trade, it's serious, right? Because we're literally risking our money. That is a serious situation, right? That is a very serious situation. So we should approach that with the respect it deserves. If you don't respect the fact what you want to do, then you will never get there, right? Thinking about going into a trade and over leveraging and being irresponsible with your money should be mentally absolutely unacceptable, right? I gave Hubert an example again. It's like, in your job, whatever your job is, if you're a cashier, right? You don't just jump up on the cashier table and start yelling around, throwing around Coke Zeros at people, right? You'd be fired, right? You don't do that. So, but people do that in trading, equivalents of it in trading, just 100x into a coin because they just feel like it in the moment, stuff like that. And that is why it's so easy to have this constant cash flow from many people to a small amount of people that consistently make money in the market, because it's so easy for you to log into your exchange and start trading, and you have access, you have the possibility and the ability to, use your entire account and risk your entire account and blow your entire account. You should not, if exchanges were responsible, they shouldn't give you access to trade with your whole account. They should literally restrict you to trade with that account. You can withdraw it, but you're not allowed to trade it. That's what a responsible exchange should be doing, right? But they give you all the access to trade what you want. And hey, by the way, you can move the slider and do it at 100x, which is literally giving a loaded gun to a toddler. That's the equivalent of what's happening here, So, we're the toddler. So, we need to have the responsibility now of being okay, well, I have the ability to do that, but that does not mean that I will ever touch this in my life. And what helps a lot as well is, making sure that, if you see different trades and if you wonder if, this would be a good trade and stuff like that, what you can do is set up a second account, like a testing account or play account or whatever you want to call it, and load it up with you can do a demo account if that's enough for you. If you want to feel the thrill, load it up with 5% of your main account or something like that, right? And use that, or when you see a trade that's higher, like lower probability, but you still like to take it on that account, right? Take it on the play account with the money that, if you blow it, nothing happens, or, have it a demo account, and, just don't tell yourself that it's a demo account, tell yourself that it's a real account. Do that. Do whatever you need to do in order to make sure that you only trade the high probability trades on your main account. Because this is a clear path. This is literally a clear path on how to get to $1 million. It's here, it's in front of you. You've seen us make 10% a day for I don't know how many days straight, right? You've seen the math of, you can calculate it yourself. You can take out a calculator, do 1,000 times 1.1 equals, times 1.1 equals, times 1.1 equals, and after 100 times you will get to whatever this number is, 12 million or something. You'll get there. It's there. You've also seen, the stochastics, once they align, that's where the move is going to happen. That's there. Now the execution is what's important, and making sure that you show up every day and you do your 10% a day with your main account, and you look at it like a professional athlete. That's probably the best way to look at it, or a Formula One driver, or insert anything that you're interested in that requires high focus and high performance by people. Same with any professional athlete, right? NBA players, they need to be focused. They need to be there at the game, and they can't just do whatever they feel like and be like, oh yeah, whatever. They can't. They'll lose their job. Anyone would lose their job. You will too, actually, lose your trading job because you won't have money to trade with anymore. But that's just important to, first of all, be aware of the fact that there are emotional triggers for you in order to, do dumb shit in the market, right? And you need to be stoic enough to know that that is exactly how you will not achieve your goal. And resisting that and doing it the boring way, right? Just doing the high probability trades is how you will achieve your goal. So, the patience and the emotional stability is what is the deciding factor that most people don't have, that very few people have, that is needed in order to achieve this, right? In order to get to wherever you want on the scale. So that is something very important. And, to a big part, this is something that we're trying to do and trying to convey over and over. There's software to do that. That's what the dashboards do. I mean, it's easy because it's automated, right? The problem here was, how do you automate something general enough so it still works and is not overfitted? Meaning that, what's overfitting? Overfitting is if I made a strategy where I said, every day at 1500 I will short, then I will short again at 2030, and then I will short again at 8 a.m. every single day because it happened here. And then the next day comes and you lose all your money because it doesn't make sense, right? But that's overfitting. That's looking at the one piece of data and designing a strategy for this specific piece of data. But if you would exchange this with another coin or another day, it would not work. That's what overfitting is, and that's what most people do when they build their strategies. And there's bigger and smaller cases of this. And the way you test it, actually, the way you test different, if your strategy is overfitted or not, is you let it run over a long time or over a different time scale, different pieces of data. And we've did that like a million times. So the dashboards are one thing, right, to make sure that the emotions are out. But also, also on our daily trading basis, we can absolutely do that ourselves too. We just need to be aware that, you know, we need to get into the habit of trading high probability trades and trading the strategy the way it's supposed to be trading, and only trading high probability trades. And there's going to be people that will trade non-high probability trades everywhere, in our Discord, outside of Discord, you know, in the news, whatever, right? But as long as you make 10% a day, you will have these numbers, right? That's the skill of getting 10% a day out of the market consistently is, right now, I'm pretty sure, like I'm relatively sure, everyone that's on this call, including me, that is the highest paying skill that any of us can learn right now. Lowest effort to highest paying. So, you know, I think it's worth to, you know, take a look at that and make sure that, you know, we do that consistently. And hey, if there's no setup, or there's no setup that you love right now, it's fine, right? You can look at Forex, there's probably going to be something, but if there's, you know, if there isn't a high probability setup, then there isn't. No, then there isn't. It's going to happen, right? It's not like the chart ends in a couple hours. It will just keep going, right? Let me take a look at Link real quick, see what it's doing since we looked at it last. Okay, so a little choppy. What's the 15-minute doing here? 15 minutes still going down. 15 minutes going down, but the price is barely going down. Like, I don't love the amount of movement that we have here. I'd like it to go further down. At least our 5 minutes topped out. So, you know, if I was scalping for some reason, I wouldn't do that, but, you know, you can scalp the 5 minute if you have alignments and enough crazy in you. The 30 minute is going down as well. This still looks good to me. 15 minute going down too. Yeah, like I do see a possible drop, especially with this, and then also with Bitcoin, of course. Yeah. Yeah, TradingView is a scam. Maybe someone turns off the market, yeah. I mean, if they do, there's going to be another market. There's always markets. People love to gamble, so there's always going to be markets, right? Always. Let me check gold again. I'm assuming that gold should look better right now. Let's see. Okay, I'm illiterate, sorry. Here's the... Just give me one there, please. I almost got it, don't worry. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Very nice. 3 and 5. Okay, 3 and 5 turned. So right now, I don't know if you're in Carina. The second the 1 minute stayed up, 3 minute turned, I assume. The second the 5 minute turned, you're bullish. 15 minute is going, 30 minute is going, 90 minute is going. 1 hour, 2 hours still. 2 hours turning. So, you know, top of the range makes sense. I'm not sure. And you sold out? Sold out. I don't know what sold out means. Like you sold out, like you took profit already? Bitcoin. Oh, cool. Nice one, Karina. Happy meal for you. You're riding Euro USD down a decent short. That looks very exciting. Euro USD. Oof, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see at the higher. I see that, you know, the 15 minutes is a bit choppy, so that's why I go to higher time frames. Our 30 minute topped out. So this was probably the topping out level. Haven't looked at this before. 15 topped, 30 topped, 90 is upwards. Okay, 2, 3. Okay, so you know, lower time frames for sure. So your 15 and 30 is in alignment, which would mean that the 50 and 30 should be the main drivers here. Let me go back to Bitcoin USDT. Bitcoin USDT, whenever we have big moves, we are more, I would like to short a bit earlier, because it would give me a better entry towards the top of the range, possibly, you know, a first take profit level. Right now we have the 5 and 15 bottomed, the 5 minutes going up. The second the 5 minutes starts going down, let's look at the 3 minute here. Three minute, 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute is topped out, about to go down. So the move with the 1 minute going down, 3, 5, 15. Okay, so we're still, so our higher time frames are bearish. You know, what's possible here is that we will not break here, go further up with the 30-minute topping out, then go down together. Right now, you know, if you enter, that's why I would like to enter earlier, because if you enter now at the bottom of the range, you will immediately have a lower probability trade. If you enter at the top, you know, whenever we talked about this at the beginning of the call, when your stochastics are topped out here and you just go to higher time frames in order to see it, you know, the second the stochastic starts going down below where it was topped out on different time frames and they start aligning as they did here, that's a good short. And I would love, if I have been looking at it, this is why it would be great, super valuable actually, to have signals that do this for us. And really all we need to do is like probably just have a signal every time a time frame tops out, probably like that could help. And maybe then look at alignments between different time frames, at least time frame pairs. So we could do like a 15 and 30 alignment, 5 and 15 alignment, 1 hour and 30-minute alignment, and look at those. And maybe, you know, on TradingView, you know, when I code the indicator, you can have signals too that, you know, send to your phone as well. So that might be pretty good. I can literally have it, you know, go to our Discord as well, actually, with a webhook. I've done that before with alerts. I'm not gonna, yeah. So yeah, so like, you know, we might be bouncing around here. I would much rather have an entry here rather than trying to short here. And this does not mean that the price isn't gonna break further down, but for me to enter at, you know, and have it a high probability trade would be nice if the 5 and 15 would top out. At least the 5 would top out. I can enter then at a better price, wherever the price is going to be, and then ride the 15 and 30 and 1 hour down together, which should get us to like a lower level, which would be a pretty nice trade here. So that's something that I would like. And this is the my favorite way of trading, is that looking at the market and then getting a theory, right? And then when I see the theory playing out and my time frames, you know, topping out together and alignment and aligning as I thought they would, then that trade just becomes a very, very high probable trade, enough to, you know, get us to where we want to go. So that's good. USD JPY, I like trading this. I really do, to be honest. Cool. Let me look at gold again. Oh my God! Wow, that's amazing. And this is a great spot. You know, you saw the trade really well, Karina. Good job. Happy meal for you. And the 15 and 30 are still, you know, ready to go here. So great job. Where did you enter and where did you exit? No, it's great. You saw this really well. You saw this really well. 15 and 30 aligned beautifully. Great trade. Bottom of the range. Very good trade. 23.9. Wow, okay. That's an amazing entry, Karina. It's an amazing entry. Yeah, really good. Really good. So that's the stochastic strategy working for you right here. Great trade. So yeah, if some of you, I haven't seen, I've talked to one person, not on a call right now, but if it seems like you can't catch the right trades, especially with the stochastic strategy, dial it down a bit and go, wait for multiple confirmations on those trades and then work your way up. Because, high probability trades with a lot of alignment, a lot of confirmations, they might happen less often, but they will work. So when you're struggling with getting trades and getting good setups that work out, you should probably be more strict with your trades and with your setups. In this case, it was great. It was really great. And I said, so the second the 5-minute turns around, you should be long. Let's see how good your timing was, Karina. So it's the close of this candle here. So the 3-minute was already going up, so you could have entered earlier. And this is for whoever doesn't know this. The 3 hours started going up and started getting momentum here, which means that the 5-minute, the 3-minute, because it's pushing up, it will turn the 5-minute upwards, right? And as the 5-minute turns upwards, the 50-minute would turn upwards, but it's already going up. So the 5-minute now is getting upwards pressure from both the 15-minute and a 3-minute, and that's going to turn it up. And that was the only thing that was holding us back before having a big move, which then happened, right? But if you wait for a confirmation, the latest you should enter is at whenever the 5-minute turned. Obviously you could have, you did have like an extra 3 or 9 minutes before that where you could have entered, but let's just assume here that's 2038, right? So 2038 should be your latest entry in this long, and your entry was 37. Oh, you entered hours ago. Okay, cool. 37.9. Okay, so you had some downside probably like here. Oh, maybe you entered here? Yeah, you entered here, right? As it bottomed out here, which is also completely viable, by the way. When you go to higher time frames, might take a couple hours to do the move. But yeah, if I was looking at this, because we were literally live on the call here, the second the 5-minute turns up, that's your long move right here. And I'm not saying that Bitcoin cannot dump down right now. I would just love to see the 15 at least turn, right? It doesn't have to top out all the way, but it needs to turn. How can it turn? If the 5-minute tops out or turns, right, depending on what the 3-minute is doing. And if the 3-minute tops out and the 5-minute turns and starts going down, and the 15-minute turns here, then your 30-minute is going to look good, and your 90-minute 1 hour is going to look good, and you're probably going to hit this level here. So, or at least this level. So Really looking at the lower time frames and see when the momentum changes, where, you know, preferably all three of them. This looks good, by the way. 1 minute is going down, right? Topped out, going down. So the 3 minutes topping out. So what I would love to see here is for the 3 minute to top out and start turning down without the price breaking this level. And as that happens and the 3 minute starts going down, the 5 minute should turn the same way it turned here. And as the 5 minute turns, our 15 minute is just gonna, you know, squash down, and our 30 minute is well in its move, and our higher time frames have, you know, high downside pressure anyways, or at least the 2 and 3. So that would then move our price down. So if the 5 minute 135 start pressuring down and I see some movement or some change in the 15 minute, then I would look at it as a pretty nice short. Okay, so you entered 1230. Yeah, so you entered at the first bottom here. Yeah, right here. So looking at this, the 5 minute was, that's the thing here. The 5 minute was, you know, bottomed out constantly while the price was still going down. Let me go to here, vertical line. 3 minutes not going to help you in this case. And then if you go to higher levels, okay, so just about topped out. By the time the 15 minutes started going up, so at this point, we didn't really see much downside. So, you know, you were early, like 10, 15 minutes, which is completely fine. I don't know what your biggest drawdown was. And then the 30 minute bottomed out here, which is the candle right before the move up. So with your 15 and 30 bottoming out already, you're pretty fine, especially when I see the 15 minute like this, and the 30 minutes probably going to turn around, and then your mid time frames are supporting you along the way. All of them, actually. The 4 hour just turned, I'm pretty sure, but still, good trade, great trade. What are you, Xavier? What's your outlook on Bitcoin right now? Are you in a trade right now, or are you just looking? I'm not fully sure. Let me see what Link did again, because I'm interested in it. Okay, so Link is at the top of the range, is it? Yeah. So the short kind of pushed up because of our lower time frames. Okay, and let me look at Chiliz for no apparent reason. 15. Okay, so this is just choppy. I just don't want to trade this. Whatever's going on here, I just don't want to trade it because we're pretty choppy. I like this, you know, the higher time frames topping out, as do like all time frames on crypto, on all higher time frames. So I do see a lower move, but there might be some chop around. I don't want to be there in the chop. I would much rather wait for an alignment and trade that. And if that doesn't happen, you can just look at gold or whatever else and trade that. All right, let me see if I wanted to cover something else. Really, the most important thing in this call. Oh yeah, there's a Doge trade we want to take a look at. I'll do that. But the most important thing on this call, other than, you know, looking at the strategies, the trades, and the dashboard and stuff, was the fact of the consistency and professionalism, which literally make or break your path towards wherever you want to go. So look at it as a job, look at it professionally, look at it seriously, because, you know, you want to make $1 million. If you are trading with $1 million, you are a trading professional. So how do you assume to get to the $1 million as an amateur? You don't. You need to be serious about it. Yeah, I really like the higher time frames for adult short. Like, really like it. Like, really like it. I see on a, yeah, I see this move happen for sure. On the lower time frames, we might be chopping around still. And you know, with the 1 hour, bottom of the 1 hour could be here. So if I did trade a longer move to say like this, a short like this, say TP1, TP2, whatever, which would make sense on the 4-3, you know, it would make sense on all time frames, really, actually. So like you can literally set up the short, but like looking at the lower time frames, 15, 30 and stuff, everything being bottomed out, I don't love. So I would, you know, trading on a 4 hour, right, assuming that this is my trade, I could enter here and layer in orders like this, and have a major entry here. So, you know, in case we go to the top of the range here, we will have a really, really good entry for this entire move. And the reason why I would do that is because I have the lower time frames bottomed out. So, you know, two options, we just go down right away, or, you know, we still go up, and I don't want to be fully in the trade when we still have to go further up, because this is quite the downside. And yeah, it depends how much you traded with, but that's something to be aware of. And you know, like I'm just being really technical. Like, you know, the easiest trades are just wait for the 15 and 30 to top out, and you will be in a really, really good move with essentially all time frames bearish. So yeah, that's all I wanted to cover today, actually. If you guys have any more questions, let me know right now. Any other setups, let me know right now. Other than that, I will be in the Discord. I'll be trading tomorrow, and I'll be working on that indicator. Hopefully we could get, you know, some version to look at by tomorrow. That'd be great. At least, you know, pointing out areas where we have alignments on the lower time frames, which would help, because when we look at, say, the 30 or 1 hour, we can see areas here where our lower time frames have been aligned. I know Isaac sent me actually a pretty good prototype of something similar, so I would probably just you know, work with that and build that out. I looked at the Sol trade right here. It's just in a trade. It entered a couple hours ago, and you know, the trades they take a while, especially longs in a bull run take really long. On average, the trade time is 5 to 6 days. So you know, that's just the nature of this trade. So there can be downsides too. Let me look at the drawdown. Mean is around 3%, which is actually very solid, very, very solid, because your drawdown mean is 3%. So on average, which means, yeah, on average in every single trade, on average your drawdown is 3%, right? So you lose like your unrealized loss is 3%, and your profits on average are 27%, which is solid. So usually it takes a while, you know, even a couple days. In this case, it was 16th to the 18th, 2 days till the move really started happening. So a move here, these are slower, you know, trades. So a move here, we're profitable by some amount. Yeah, we're profitable right now. So we just got to let this trade play out. If you're trading this manually and you want to trade it manually, then I would just add in orders, add around the entry of the trade, or you can get a better entry than that trade, and then you're at an advantage over the bot. So yeah, that's that. What else? Do you guys have any questions? If not, then I'm gonna end the call and we'll continue in the chats. And yeah, making sure that we're professional about it, making sure that we spot trades, we spot high probability trades is very, very important. And as long as we do that, collectively as well, go in, having multiple minds, like even me trading or me spotting trades, like you guys can, I might overlook something, and you guys can point it out, or vice versa, right? So just having more minds looking at the same thing and agreeing on that interpretation of that same thing just gives you more of a confirmation, which gives you more higher probability trades, which brings you further in this table, right? So that's pretty much the point. So yeah, that's all from my side for today. If you have any questions, I'm here. My DMs are open. If there's anything you want to suggest or point out, and yeah, that's all, and I'll see you guys. Xavier's saying something, so I will wait in case there's a question. All right, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. I think it's very important to see the numbers and the compounding with your own eyes, because most people that are in trading, they think they need to make like 500% in a trade in order to get somewhere, but you literally start compounding $50 with 10% a day, and you're at $4 million in 4 months. It's crazy. So yeah, you guys play around with it, and really play around with it a lot, actually, because you guys should really engrave it in your head, and that will be an additional motivation on keeping it professional and making sure that you get to your 10% a day. You trade your high probability trades, and you don't trade low probability trades, because like Warren Buffett said, the beauty of investing is that you don't have to be right all the time. You only need to be right when you choose to be right? You can say no a million times. You can say no to a million trades, and it doesn't cost you anything. So you have the luxury to only pick the trades that have the highest probability to work. Every single person here has the luxury to do that. So do that, right? Be smart about it. All right, those are my closing words for today. Thank you everyone that joined. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Join up on the trading session tomorrow. We'll get to our 10% again. And yeah, that's all. And I'll see you guys in the Discord.